getting ready for the baby shower. Baby party. It's not really a baby shower. It's so weird because I think you agree, John, I've been pretty anxious this week, huh?
You have tended towards the nervous excitement.
It's weird though, isn't it? Like, do you think you can be nervous for your own baby shower? Like,
well, I'm kind of nervous. It was one of those things I never ever expected to have one of my own.
Yeah, I think, because I was thinking about it and thinking, actually, it's one of those things, like, even though obviously we're pregnant now, there's like infertility is still infertility. And I've been thinking a bit about how much we used to like prepare to go to first birthday parties and baby showers. And maybe we'll sit down in a minute and talk about that. But it's so strange to me because I'm like, I actually feel anxious about what people are going to say to me because I have had some horrible stuff said to me over the years at kids' parties, baby showers, that kind of thing, at my own. And I'm pregnant. Like, it's so weird, isn't it?
I know I kind of feel like a fraud now. Having come out the other end, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. But it never leaves you, and I hope that if anything it just makes more people more compassionate, because I mean, one of the things we did was on our invitation we actually said if it's too challenging for you to come to this, then let us know and we'll come and have a coffee with you. And we actually did have some people do that, and we went and had some dinners and stuff with people who are not comfortable to come to the baby shower. And that was, I didn't expect people would really take us up on that, but it's pretty cool that they did. And I think the more we can be aware of like what it feels like for people, then hopefully people will stop saying the wrong thing. Yeah, because it does make it hard. But maybe like we'll sit down together in a minute and talk about how we used to prepare, because it was like we were preparing for a marathon to go to a party. But I think we did, as well as we could have at the time.
I was preparing to support you, and
yeah, and I mean, in some ways, you can get into the right headspace in your mind that you remember that it's about the people who are throwing the party and not about you. But it's so challenging. Anyway, I'm going to sit down with you in a second. I'm going to make these because we need something healthy on the table, and we can talk about what we did because I think that might be helpful. Okay, since we're having our own like baby party today.
Well, we are having a baby party. It's not like a baby party.
Yeah, it's an actual one. And we're very happy and very excited. But at the same time, I've been thinking this week about how we managed while we were going through, trying to get pregnant, how we managed first birthday parties and baby showers and
there was a lot of preparation.
Yeah, I think we were like, it is really amazing like how people really unintentionally say pretty horrible things and you can come out of it feeling pretty terrible. So we like made a game plan.
Yeah, we prepped before.
So we would talk together about whether we were even going to go to a party. We only really went to parties of people that were really special to us. What else did we do?
I just supported you. That was the big thing.
It's mostly about me. I don't know, I think it's harder I think people say worse things to women about this kind of thing. That whole thing about like people would say things like, oh, your life doesn't really start until you have children, and oh, isn't it amazing how babies come at just the perfect time, and oh, do you want, when are you going to have kids, just all that stuff. And
I would hear these and I'd just go, oh.
And it's all very well intentioned, but you just never know what people are going through, hey? And then there was also the other side of the coin when we told people what we were going through, and they would treat us differently because
they didn't know how to treat us.
Right. And so I can remember what we did. So you just supported me, but there was like a whole plan because we would talk beforehand. We decided if we're even going to go.
Well, this is your idea, mate.
Yeah.
No, mate.
Well, we would decide if we wanted to go to the party. And I think it's really cool this week because, like I was saying before, people have told us.
If I can stop you. So the biggest thing is I would never have thought about this prior to, because I just think I'd just stick my head down and just bluster through it and not really take any time to think about the after effects.
Yeah, and we would just feel terrible afterwards.
So it was really interesting when Laura did bring it up, and then we just started to really prepare ourselves prior to any event really. Any event really, and it all start with how you're feeling about the event, the people going to the event, and
did we feel kind of safe to go to the event without
and really, no is a really powerful, powerful word, and
we said no to some things.
Pulling yourself out of the game some of the times. Really.
Other thing we did is the morning of, we would be like, okay, we both good to do this, and we'd be like, yes. And then we would go late to the party as well. So we'd arrive when everything was already in full swing, so we weren't kind of left, there too early or anything. So, and we would, make sure we walked in together and
make sure we brought our own energy as well, and not really leaving it up to the party or the other people to set the standard for us or set the stage for us.
So how we wanted to be treated. So when we walked in, we would kind of get ourselves into a really positive state by mostly reminding ourselves that it wasn't about us. It was about the people who were having the party and their joy and their happiness for what they were experiencing. So yeah, I remember one party we walked in and we were almost manically happy. Do you remember? And we were like, this is what we're doing because we don't want to be a dampener on this person's party. And, we want to celebrate their child. And so we came in with gusto, didn't we? And I think people were a little because they're expecting us to, be tiptoeing around us. So we
and don't get me wrong, they did try to bring us down, but how are things going? And we just pushed.
And we'd just be like, look how cute
No, it's going really good. Oh, take a look at that.
I actually recall John jumping in the ball pit at that one. That was good. Anyway, so we did that, and then we would always, one of the things that I remember very significantly was that even if we weren't kind of standing next to each other, we would have some kind of connection, especially during speeches. So I remember once John was sitting over there and I was kind of standing here, and he reached his foot out and just touched my foot. I'm going to cry. Just touched my foot while the speeches were happening.
Well, don't you start. It's going to be a bad enough day as it is.
Oh, but you touched my foot, and I was like, okay, I'm not in this alone. And even if you are going through this as a single person, if you're going to go to these things, just have somebody be your support person while you're there. And so we could get through the speeches because I was just like, okay, it's not just me feeling this way and feeling and then again, just refocusing on how happy we were for them, not thinking about how we felt about ourselves. And then we also had a rule that if one of us wanted to leave, it doesn't matter if the other one was having fun, we left. And then we would always have a plan to do something nice for ourselves afterwards. So whether it was go get a coffee or watch a movie or just do something that just made us move on, so that we wouldn't kind of wallow in whatever we experienced or heard or had people say to us or any of that. So I think that was most of what
with
we did.
you. We'd talk about things like, can you even believe that this could possibly be us, our party as well?
Yeah, there is this thing of if you hate or if you dislike something that you want, then you'll never be able to have it because you'll never want to be that. And part of being the universe or whatever. Yeah.
I think you have to, and it was nice to think about. You go, can you imagine us and the parents?
Which is today.
Which is today, and
I'm terrified.
Even then, it's. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just scared, and I'm so worried about I think we put enough things in place so that no one would feel that way at our party. We literally wrote it on the invitation that we asked people to think about what they say and be kind, because you never know. And also double whammy with Mother's Day this weekend. There's people who've lost mothers, people who've lost children or still waiting. And I think we are heading towards being a more kinder, understanding society and realising that it's not always about just celebrating the person who's had it easy or had it, had the joyous thing happen to them. There's, we can be kind and look after people. So I guess with that said, if you're interested, if you feel comfortable, we'd love to show you a little bit of our own party. So we'll put some footage in after this. But yeah, as you can see, we're still very clearly affected by...
I think we always will be.
Yeah. And just because you get pregnant doesn't mean that these feelings go away. So that said, we're so grateful. And we're going to enjoy the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's enough crying. Although you're gonna totally cry later.
I've taken 15 antihistamines.
We'll be right.
Yeah, we'll be right.
Okay, well.
Loads of love to you.
We'll show you the party now.
I think you can tell we can barely speak. We just feel really lucky to be here.
Yep. All right. This is going well.
Now it all has changed.